Everybody, my name is Mike Miller. We got Zach Hoskins here
What's
today
going
as
on,
well.
everybody?
How you doing, Zach?
Couldn't be better. How are you?
Fantastic. I've been looking forward to this. This is like kind of non-formal. We're just going to I brought my, we told everybody bring your lunch.
Yes.
Today, I brought my ham.
Plate of
My
ham.
good buddy down the road cooked up for me, and I brought my popcorn. So
I've got a little protein shake. It's a little early for lunch for me. I was telling you before we started. I typically do some intermittent fasting and might not hit it till about 12:30. But I can always.
The only thing I do fast is run to the refrigerator. And that's my one joke of the day.
Yeah, bing.
Yep. Well, thank you everybody for joining. We are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And today is kind of Zach and I thought of the idea of kind of just like ask us anything, right?
Yes.
So obviously we are going to keep it based around personal growth, career growth, growing on LinkedIn, things that just help you improve, moving forward. And I thought I would start off by sharing a win, because it's always good to start with the win, and there's nothing better. How about it, Zach? This person we're going to talk about, his name's Logan, and Zach, you've gotten to know Logan over the past couple months.
Yeah.
He has soared on the LinkedIn platform. He has, I think he came to us when he had about 20 connections, something like that. Had no clue which way to go. Was also looking for another job. Kind of stuck a little bit. So we kind of, we saw a lot of hustle in him, a lot of ambition, and he did all the work, but it's been really neat to watch him on his journey. So I think a little bit we can absolutely talk about that. But how have you been, Zach? What's new, man?
Absolutely. Yeah, man, everything's good here. I mean, we are about 6 weeks out from our first kiddo showing up. So knock on wood, my wife and I are getting all kind of set up and squared away for all of that. So that's been really fun, and trying to get some pickleball in, and
it's great.
Other than that, yeah,
it's a life changer. Yeah, life changer for sure. Just trying to keep the yard mowed. Trying to enjoy some nice weather. It's boating season. So as you know, I'm at the lake just about every weekend, trying not to get too sunburnt.
That's right.
But yeah, man, just trying to have a good balance of life and work. So
yeah,
I see Greg tuned in.
What's up, Greg?
He's finally here. We should have brought him on screen. We should have.
Oh yeah.
Should have brought him up here to talk to us
next time. Make a note, Greg. We need to have you on next time.
I know. We could get him a link real quick. But anyhow, so we're opening the comments up. Feel free, hey Jacob, feel free to throw any question in the comments, any thoughts, any questions. A lot of familiar faces here. But in the meantime, while those questions are queuing up, I thought we'll showcase a couple profiles. Since Greg's here, we might showcase his profile too. We'll help give him a little boost today. But so, okay, I'm going to share my screen for a second. It's actually two people in here that have become pretty good friends here. Logan and Greg have become pretty good friends of Zach and I's, and watching them grow has been fantastic. So why not show an example? And if anyone feels like they want a profile roast or a profile review during the session, if we have time, we might jump on your profile and do it for you. But so here we go. Let me share my screen here. Who knows if Logan's watching or not? But Zach, can you see this?
I can see that. We are on.
So this is Logan Fuller. I met him about 3-4 months ago, maybe more, something like that. When I met him, he had about 20 connections, something like that. And if I recall, I don't even know if he had a profile picture at the time, but he did a few things to his profile. and he climbed. So he just got, well, let me back up. He did a few things to his profile, put a nice professional picture up, fix his background up, just made it look complete. Um, in this section right here is so important, right? Because this is, you know what I always say here. People say, I don't know what to type in there.
Mhm.
And I want you to think about this. If someone, any of you watching, if someone were to ask you to go speak to, let's say, high school students about your career, right? Well, obviously, before you just walk up on, you got all these students packed in an auditorium to hear you talk about your career. Maybe it's medical, maybe it's construction, whatever it is, right? But right before you speak, someone's going to introduce you. They're going to grab a mic and they're going to say your name and they're going to talk about you briefly. So I always say, make this part right here whatever you think that they would say to you right before you go on stage, or however they would introduce you to go on stage. So, as actor, he did a great job. Or I'm sorry, with Logan here, he did a fantastic job. Anyhow, he has earned top cybersecurity voice in the past 3 months. He went from 20 connections, literally, to he flipped 2,000 2 days ago, and a day or two ago, and he's already reaching real close 2,500. So, but anyhow, kudos to Logan. If you get a chance, look him up, give him a connect. Someone else that working with his that we are working with as well. If I can find him here, which he's in the room here, maybe he's watching. Just got past 1,000 connections. He's worked hard for this. This is Greg out of New Jersey. Greg has been in technology for 30 some years. I'm giving away your age, Greg. And he's owned his own company. He sold his company. Same thing. He hooked up with us, Zach, a few months back, probably 5-6 months ago. Not many connections. Same thing. Really just getting his profile straightened out, and finding his voice. One thing about him. So if you look at this is his intro, right? Again, right before you go on stage, what are they going to say about you? This is awesome. Greg coming in with 25 years experience, pretty cool stuff, right? But if you go down, I've really watched him find his voice over the past couple months, talking about his stories. And everyone talks about, everyone says they don't know what to post, or they feel like they don't have any wisdom that anyone else wants. But everyone has their own stories. Everyone has wisdom. Everyone has something that they can share about their journey. So those are just two quick wins that we wanted to kind of start off with.
That's great.
But Zach, what am I missing, man? I feel like
that was great. I think it's a cool way that it's cool to see the journey and the experience that they've gained. And I believe Logan was actually just took a job.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
From LinkedIn, from the experience and from the opportunities and the consistency and the hard work and all of that he put in on LinkedIn, he ended up getting a job.
Well, the difference is, yeah, you're right. And the difference is when you find your voice and when you build what we call your personal brand, you start becoming the hunted instead of the one that's hunting opportunities. And it makes me, we watch it. How about it, Zach? We watch this happen every day. Yeah. Most of the time, the ones that can't seem to find opportunity are the ones that are just not existing on this platform, or they exist, but they're not, but that's all. They're just existing, right? They're not contributing.
Well, that kind of parlays into this question that we have from Jamie Clamp here. How do you keep the engagement up on LinkedIn once a post has great engagement, and how do you get recruiters to your LinkedIn inbox?
Great
so, Mike,
question.
I'll let you kind of talk to that. Kind of how would you approach that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first, there's a couple key things that you need to remember when you're posting on LinkedIn. So first, it's quality content. 3 things in a post. You have to have a good, we call it a hook, but I call it a scroll stopper, right? People are they get on their phones and they scroll. And so if you have a story to tell, think of when you walk into a Barnes and Noble, the books that you look at are the ones with the nice covers. If it doesn't have a nice cover, you're not going to look at it. So as you're scrolling down, that scroll stopper or that hook is kind of your book cover for a moment. It has to make them stop and open the book. So the first thing is have that opener, right? To make them stop. Second is be authentic. Tell stories. Don't just talk about your successes. Talk about your failures. Talk about how you've overcome it. And then at the end, Jamie, to kind of answer your question, have a call to action. Give them a reason to engage with your content. But then once they do, right? And so, it's really important to have good content, but it's also important to optimize. So create good content, but optimize for the algorithm, right? So it's really important to, don't post and ghost. If you make a post, I used to do this when I first started, Zach. I would make a post and I would go to lunch and be gone for an hour. And then wonder why I didn't get any traffic. And then I realized, I had a bunch of people comment, but I wasn't there to answer. So post when you have time to answer. So the first hour to 90 minutes is really the most important time after you post. Keep that engagement up. But remember, give more to the community than you want back. So when you post, go engage with other people as well. So and how to get those recruiters to your inbox? It's that visibility, just appearing every day. Find people out there even to engage with that have a broad network built. Many people, they'll say, I need to go and connect to 20 or 30 recruiters, which is great. But at the end of the day, if you go and you're engaging with people that have hundreds and thousands of connections in a broad network, you're connecting to recruiters that way too, because they're seeing you. Am I missing anything, Zach? Anything?
No, I think that consistency and the kind of what's in it for your network mentality is huge. Because I think if you are trying to attract those recruiters to the degree that you can find your voice, become that kind of create that magnetic effect of getting the people who you want to interact with and who want to interact with you to come to you, and then repelling the individuals who don't, and that's totally fine too. There's a push-pull to all of this. But I think that's key too. Something I saw on Logan's profile is that top voice badge. So something that I think that would be very beneficial to our audience is, and this is another way that recruiters could probably, if a recruiter's looking at your profile and it says top industry voice, whatever your, insert your industry or insert your skill set voice, that is probably going to drive some interest for that recruiter. And so, looking at that. So Mike, can you kind of touch on what is that for those who don't know? How can they leverage that kind of almost, it's a free, I mean, it takes a lot of hard work, but it's a free opportunity to maybe stand out a little bit. So touch on that a bit.
Yeah. So if you're active on the platform, so there's two types of badges, right? You have the gold badges and you have the blue badges. So the gold badges, really anybody with hard work can go and work hard to get those, right? So they come by, and sooner or later, if you're active on LinkedIn, you're going to start getting notifications from LinkedIn that says, we would like you to contribute on this article. So obviously Logan is into GRC compliance type things in cybersecurity. So he got messages from LinkedIn notifications saying you should go engage with these compliance articles. So, and it's more when they say engage, these articles ask a question. They're typically written by LinkedIn or AI written, and your job's to kind of collaborate and engage with it and put some good thoughts into it. It's more than just an LOL or great post or whatever, putting some true thoughts into it. So I think the threshold, and I could be wrong, I think the threshold is contributing to, I think it's 3 or 6 articles every 60 days, something like that. And if you do that consistently, and it also gets triggered off of how well your contribution was received. So for instance, if I go contribute to a GRC article, but it wasn't well received, meaning that no one really engaged with it because I didn't really put time into my thoughts.
Mhm.
um, then then you're probably never going to get that badge. However, if you are able to engage with it and have some good thoughts, that badge can appear. And it is. It's kind of like it's some great street credit, right? You know, he's
Mhm.
put the work in. The gold badge looks pretty cool on the profile. The other badge is the blue badge. It's kind of an invite only thing, but you know, LinkedIn's a level playing field. All you have to do is just be yourself, create content, and just be a giver to the community. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I definitely think that perception plays a huge part in the equation of social
yes,
media and how you show up, especially if when you're talking about recruiters. No, and I don't think it's a nefarious or an evil or a negative perception, like putting up a misperception or a misconception of what what you're trying to put off. But I think to the degree that you could have a top blank voice badge on your, you clearly had to put in some sort of work, be dedicated, consistent, giving, have quality content to actually get that. So that may be a solid goal. If you're finding yourself struggling, putting a consistent practice in place as those notifications start to pop up to
yeah.
continue to engage with that and see if you can get one of those.
Absolutely. I mean, LinkedIn's the largest networking party on the planet, and to not use it, just you're not taking advantage of the opportunities that are there. It will, if you treat LinkedIn like a career, it
Yeah,
will absolutely create opportunity for you.
for sure.
So, yeah. I see we got some other comments here. Have you been reading these on the right here,
Yes.
Zach?
So one was, how do you find recruiters? If you want to kind of touch on that, or is it more of a attraction type scenario? Like what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of two part. So I know Robin. I've worked with her. Great person. Connect to her if you can find her there on LinkedIn. Um, yeah, it's two part, right? So the first part is the proactive part of just reaching out.
Hmm.
Connect to recruiters that are in your field and that seem to be active on LinkedIn. Nothing wrong with connecting to 20, 30, 50 different recruiters, but many people stop there and just kind of wait. So I would connect to those recruiters, but then start engaging with their content. Don't always just bug them about jobs. Start engaging with their content. Be that face. It's just always there, right? Be that familiar face. It's always just kind of knocking on the door lightly, and engage with the cybersecurity community as a whole to make them um, find you as well. You will bear more fruit out of doing things to have those recruiters find you instead of you having to find them. And one of the things in the tech industry that's a big thing is these automated resume filters and what have you.
Mm.
And they do exist mainly with very large companies. But so how do you get through that filter? Make them find you and come after you instead. Then you don't have to worry about it when they're asking you for your resume.
Mm. Yeah, it's big. Good answer. Hopefully that helped, Robin.
Yeah, and I see those questions coming in, so throw them in here. We're just kind
Yeah,
of this
for
is kind
sure.
of
And
just an open.
toss in what you're eating for lunch too, if you got it.
Yeah, I'm
You
having
know.
popcorn and a plate full of ham.
The
So
plate full of ham still gets me, but I'm gonna let you live your life,
it,
and I
it
love it.
was smoked. It was smoked for 12 hours.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
we like that. We do
Yeah.
love some smoked meat. Okay, so what tools? Jamie came in with a couple of follow up. What tools are used for content creation?
And this is yeah.
Um,
Let's talk about the tools you use because I'm always learning from you here, Zach.
yeah,
So
for
why don't you
sure.
talk about that?
Well, so one thing that I typically will use is ChatGPT, and I'm probably speaking to the choir here, but I think utilizing ChatGPT for as I have an idea and I utilize it as almost a content assistant or someone who's helping me flesh out a little bit more of the idea, a little bit more of kind of how would this resonate better with my target audience? Hey, here's my voice. How can I best explain this or expound on this to give more to my audience? Those are some of the prompts that I'm asking ChatGPT just to kind of just help give me some visionary tactics to kind of the way that my mind works. Sometimes my mind can work very black and white, and I'm just like, okay, this is an idea. I'm just going to type it out. I found in experimenting with this that it's not as good as if I just type it out and kind of write in my writing style. But if I kind of engage ChatGPT in a way that says, those questions that I was asking before, it kind of helps me expand my horizons and expand different ways and helps me think about different ways that I can position the topic and those types of things. So I use ChatGPT quite a bit to kind of help just expand on things. And then that way I can kind of complete the post in a way that makes sense and better value for my audience.
So do you use any, I love that. Do you use any third-party tools for your posting or anything, Zach?
Right now, I do not.
Okay. I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that it could make sense, to start to schedule, and I think we could probably dive into that as like to schedule or not to schedule. And so
Yeah.
we probably both have views on that, but I think we're probably both on the same kind of aligned on that. I mean, the way that I look at it is, in an ideal world, I'd love to have, time blocked off to batch out the next 5 days or 7 days of posts. But in all reality, the way that my mind kind of works is I have this ideal week that I work my tasks into, and I've kind of blocked off time each day specifically to write the content, engage with the content, do those types of things. And so I found that utilizing an external tool to schedule doesn't really make sense to me, because I just kind of like to share something that I've learned or share something that I've used or a different framework or those types of things on a daily basis, kind of just in time, as opposed to the other type. So
That's how I am too. And I don't think there's any right or wrong way. I think it's whatever works for you. I'm the same way. I wish I could sit down and write my posts out for a month. I wish I could. I think people like, Justin Welsh and some of those guys, they do, like, they're so well versed in what they're doing and have the processes. My mind doesn't work like that. My post tomorrow might be about something that happened to me today. So mine are just more organic, I guess, just more kind of winging it as I go. Now, as far as tools, I have years back, I've used some different tools. I think one was called it's Crowdfire, I think, not CrowdStrike. That's a cybersecurity tool. Crowdfire, I used that. I had a subscription to Hootsuite for a long time, but what I found was, so still on all three platforms that I'm on, YouTube, X, and LinkedIn, it's just organic, right? Now, what I do is I will create content once, and then I will disperse it to multiple platforms, So it's not like you have to write fresh content for every single platform. You certainly can, but you don't have to.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah. Any other good questions in here? Let's take Jacob's here for a second. Jacob says, as a 17-year-old, it's hard to find recruiters, even though I work in cybersecurity currently. How can I fix this? I would say it's the same thing that we were talking about, right? Just connect to recruiters, get yourself out there a little bit, start working projects. And, if you're working on cybersecurity projects, talk about them, showcase the knowledge that you have, so that you can gain that visibility by those recruiters or people that you're trying to get that visibility from. I'm going to take another one here. Zach, feel free to jump on any of these if you want.
Yeah.
Emilio says, "Can those work I've done? Oh, can the work I've done in TryHackMe work as evidence of the time I put to increase my?" Yeah, absolutely. So for those that don't know, TryHackMe is a online lab where you can go and hack within their environment and really level up your skills. So absolutely. I see posts all the time. People are in the top 10. It's 2 million subscribers, I think, on Try Hack Me right now, maybe more. And I see posts all the time. People are in the top 10, 5% of their ranking. So absolutely. It's anything you can do like that to work with those tools.
How about the develop a strong network in vulnerability management community? Is that a cybersecurity thing?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, these
'Cause
are all
my
cyber
mind
related.
goes straight to being vulnerable. I can talk on that, but it's all good. We can keep jamming out on the cybersecurity stuff.
Yeah, how can I develop a strong network and vulnerability management community? So same thing, right? It's the same. No matter what point you're at in your career or life, you're a thought leader. And what I mean by that is you have your own stories, you have your own wisdom to share. So if vulnerability management is your thing in the tech/infosec world, start sharing your thoughts on it. Start teaching people. Start connecting with those types of people. There's articles, those articles we were talking about, those top voice articles, they're out there. Start contributing to those articles and things like that as well. You'll build a community pretty quick.
Yeah.
Zach, I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
take this one. This is
Yeah,
right
for
down
sure.
your alley, man.
Yeah, I think my perspective on this, and this is such a great question with career rejections and kind of how much there's a bunch of different pieces to this. And of course, I don't know all of the context behind the question, but I'm so thankful for your question. I think, in one context, career rejections could look like, the saying like failures are the stepping stones of success, or when one door closes another door opens, kind of those types of quotations come to mind here. I think whenever you have a rejection, I truly believe that it is that magnetic effect working to your advantage. As much as you might not think it, or from your perception, you might kind of be bummed out that you've been rejected from it. I truly think that we have our voice, we curate, whether that's our resume or whatever it is, we curate the community we have, we curate the content we put out. And so when we get rejected, it might be that we ultimately wouldn't have been a good fit for that business anyway, or for that role anyway, because of the magnetic effect and what you are attracting and what they are repelling. And it's not good or bad. It's just what's the best fit and how can we find that best other magnet to attract ourselves to. And so whenever you look at a career rejection, it might just be like, take it, kind of remove and I know there's a lot of emotion and a lot of psychology behind that, but if you remove that emotion, remove that psychology, and just say like, okay, well, that magnet just didn't attract to me, or I repelled that opportunity because of the way that I'm operating and the way that I'm kind of working through and trying to find my right role. Looking at that as a magnet can really, really be helpful.
Yeah, I love that. And a lot of times you're not just the one being interviewed, you're interviewing them as a company as well.
Right. Definitely a
And
two-way street.
yeah. Yeah, many times, and I've heard so many times, when people haven't gotten jobs, you hear them on say, "Man, I'm happy that didn't work out because I learned this or I learned that."
100%.
I'm a big believer if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You either win or you grow, or you learn or you grow. I don't truly believe in failure. So
Yeah.
oh yeah, let's go. I got some fan out there on LinkedIn. Let's go. I'll take that.
So
Thank
Zach,
you.
I'm gonna stop for a second and I'm gonna let you talk about Harmony Growth Lab. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Yes, absolutely.
Here comes the pitch, right?
The pitch. No pitch here, just help.
Yeah.
It's truly what it is. I mean, Mike and I have been, buddies from the pickleball court for a while now, and we just connected again back to this magnetic effect. We both kind of were attracted to each other in the way that we give value to each other and the way that we give value to the people in our lives. And so we decided to launch an online community, a Discord community where we help dedicated professionals design a life they love. And so at harmonygrowthlab.com, it kind of lays out kind of what the actual community is, and all of that. But our goal is to help you overcome professional and personal stagnation, frustration, lack of growth, all of these different things. And our goal is to just help you design and live a life you love, um, by harmonizing your professional side and your personal side. So your professional side, meaning like a lot of what Mike's talking about the your LinkedIn presence, your social presence, finding your voice, your personal brand, getting all that squared away so that you can start attracting people to you as opposed to hunting those opportunities. We want them to come to us. And then on the personal side of the strategic planning side that I kind of head up is answering the questions: why do we exist? What do we stand for? Where are we going? How are we going to get there? What does my ideal week look like? All of these different pieces are kind of culminating in this online community with, I think we're growing membership quite crazy for the first month. And so it's very awesome to see the growth in there. So there's plenty of room for you specifically. The community is vibrant and we're given both ways, and we're growing together and we're learning together. We have bi-weekly, every other Tuesday that we're not doing this, we are doing specific content workshops. And then every Friday we do check-in calls on that content, so you can kind of ask contextual questions and get kind of one-on-one direct access to Mike and myself. And so it's a community that we just love to love on and give to, and help you get to where you truly want to be.
And sometimes we share what we're having for lunch at the same time.
That's true.
That was great. I could not have explained that any better. So, yeah. All right, Zach, I might let you take another one here if you want one. With this one.
Oh man. So this is interesting. So I heard someone give a tip on this specifically. So this question is such a great question. What advice can you give someone who has moved abroad and starting an early career? Something that I would do, and I'm just going to kind of look at this through my lens of what I would do. So I would go find, and I'm not sure what abroad means here also, but I'm just going to assume it's just, to a country that's not where you grew up. So I would go find the most expensive gym membership that I could afford, and I would join that gym. And I would go at an early time in the day. And so the way that I work, and so the way that I kind of think about that is spending that amount of money, you're going to find people who are serious about their health, who are serious about kind of the amount of money they're willing to invest in that. And they're going to be go-getters if you go in the mornings. And so to the degree that you could go find that and then really engage with those people and give to those people and invite them out for coffee after, or whatever that looks like, and just kind of build those relationships over time, you're going to find yourself surrounded with winners. Because the people in that gym are not going to be losers. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to be, winners and losers there, but I'm just saying, like, if I were to do this, I would go pick a pickleball court and pick a gym, and I would just go talk to people. And ultimately, yes, it's starting an early career, but it's kind of talking to that, but not really. It's almost just like knocking down that huge domino of creating the network and then having the opportunities come to you, just in case that early career doesn't work out.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, you're right. That's what it's all about as a network. And it's funny, you actually described everything I am not. I don't get up early, and I'm there eating a plate full of ham.
The ham's got protein in it.
Oh, wait, and popcorn. So you're not going to see me at the gym early.
No.
Yeah. Anyhow. But yeah, and it's right. You just have to shake hands. You just have to shake. I mean, that's how we met, right?
Yeah. That's right.
I remember, because I have a buddy, my neighbor here lives a couple blocks away. We've been playing pickleball now for a couple years, and we ran into Zach. We got queued up and ended up playing with them, and they were pretty good. And I remember saying to my buddy, I'm like, do you think, like, there was just a connection? Zach's a very just outgoing, just laughing a lot, just a good person. And I remember saying to my buddy, do you think it's weird if I ask him for his phone number? He's like, yeah, I think it's weird. I'm like, I'm going to do it anyhow. So
Perfect.
I remember doing it. But just like you said, go to the gym. It's the same
Yeah.
thing, you know,
Yeah.
don't be a wallflower, right? Don't be that person just, you know, it's over there in the corner doing your dumbbells, not talking to anybody. Like, don't be afraid to offer a spot or just to, you know, just to walk up and have a conversation, man. It's life changing. You know, the
Yeah.
people that come in and out of your life, it can just be life changing.
Yeah. And on a more just kind of like direct tactical note to this one specifically was like moving abroad. Like I would figure out how to get, you know, how to, if you don't know how to speak the language, I would
Yeah.
just truly invest in that as much as you could. And then start having conversations and giving.
I agree 100%. So keep the questions coming.
Yeah,
We still have a little bit of time left.
for sure.
I see
These are
one here.
good questions.
I'll take this one here by Style Man. How can I start as a newbie in cybersecurity? Surround yourself by people that know the industry, by people that are working in the industry. Get some type of education, whether it's boot camps, college, university of YouTube, whatever you want to call it. Just learn. Knowledge is power. So the more knowledge you can obtain, the more valuable you're going to be. This is, you know, tech/cyber is one of the few fields that there's no blueprint. It's knowledge based. So if you can accumulate the knowledge, you'll be surprised at the opportunity that will come from it. Yeah.
Yeah, and to that, it's kind of like across any industry. I mean, I was just thinking through, like, you know, have you ever been asked the question, like, if you were dropped in a, like, just the very similar question, like, if you know, moved abroad, you're starting an early career. I really like that question, but I also like framing it this way. If you had all of the knowledge and experience you had now, but none of the connections, and you were you were picked up and you were dropped in a completely different city, what would you do? Like, and you had no connection to anyone else. I'm curious, like, well, how would you approach that? You've got all the experience and all the knowledge, but you just don't have the connections. You don't have the people. You don't like have an opportunity. How would you approach that?
Yeah. You're asking me specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah. First, that's a great, I never thought of that. That's a great question. Well, you know, if you have all the knowledge and all the tool sets in your mind, you know, again, knowledge is power. So, but I can't do anything without people, right?
That's right.
And I go back to, we can have all of these things, all of this knowledge, but if we are unable to market ourselves, or, you know, whether we like it or not, we're all salespeople because we all have to sell the abilities that we have. Well, we can't sell without people. So the first thing I'm going to do is, you know, if I'm dropped somewhere, depends if I have any money or not. If I'm picked up and dropped somewhere, I probably start with $0, right?
Yeah, sure.
So
Let's say that too. Yeah.
let's just say that. Let's make it fun. I'm probably going to, you know, probably just try to find communities, find places that have a similar interest in the field that I'm in. And, you know, maybe it's a local networking event. Maybe it's, you know, whatever, or maybe it's a podcast I need to listen to and engage with. It's anything I can do to make the people connection, because that's what it comes down. We all need people to be able to be employed, period. Because those people are the ones who need our talents. So I'm gonna find myself hovering around people.
100%.
What about you?
I'm going straight to the pickleball court.
Absolutely.
You know, it's the same thing though. It's finding people who are, you know, interested in the same thing that you are, because you can find these little groups of people with different levels of people inside of it. You're going to have anywhere you go, whether it's a pickleball court, whether it's, you know, a local networking event, whether it's a quilting club, a chess, you know, anything like that.
Yeah.
You're going to find business owners. You're going to find, you know, colleagues. You're going to find people starting out. You're going to find all of these different individuals. And so it's, to the degree, it's going back to finding your voice and finding what you're interested in. And maybe that's not professionally. Maybe you do start with something you're interested in. Like, for example, me, like pickleball. I would head straight to a pickleball court because typically the culture of pickleball is, hey, I've got an extra paddle, you want in? And then it's like, okay, cool. Well, now I'm playing. Well, maybe I don't know how to play. Well, getting
Yep.
over that boundary or that barrier and that type of thing is, of course, going to be difficult. But once you get past that and start to ask questions and just say, what do you guys do? There's some big opportunities just in that, and then showing up consistently.
You make a good point. And I kind of drive my wife makes fun of me for this because we'll be out somewhere and my my pickup line is, so what do you do for a living? Like that's just my line. Anywhere I'm at. I think I asked you that, Zach, right? Because typically just that question alone, you can learn so much about them and what their potential interests are. And so many conversations can be cued off of that. Because my wife always says, you need a better question. I'm like, it works. Same thing. If I'm playing pickleball with someone or I'm sitting at a soccer game beside a parent, like, oh, do you work around here? What do you do for a living? And just that alone opens up. I've met so many people and have had great relationships because of asking that question.
Yeah, that's a good question. And it's genuine. I think you're asking a genuine question too.
Yeah,
so
I really
they
want to
can
know.
tell that you're genuine and you want to know. And
yeah. You'd be surprised when you start asking people questions. People love to talk about things they're interested in.
100%.
They just love doing that. So the more you ask, the more you're going to learn. Greg's still here.
Yeah. What's up, Greg? Sticking with us.
He is. We're going to bring his up. Ironically, my post for tomorrow is exactly on this topic. I have a few great stories how I met. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's possible. See, yeah, that's what you're interested. Maybe you're interested in it. I don't know, but if you are, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. He has a crazy cool Instagram account. He's one of the coolest beamers I've ever seen.
Oh,
bright
nice.
blue.
So there you go. Yeah, there it is. It can be, it can be anything. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Quilting club to BMW.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything.
Yeah. So, keep the
club.
comments coming in, guys. Again, it's just kind of an open, informal conversation. We're just having fun today. There was no agenda planned for today.
If there's anybody out there in the audience that has joined a quilting club and has gotten an opportunity out of it, I'd love to hear about it. Submit your story for quilting club.
Are you thinking about quilting? Yeah. So, Zach, what are your hobbies beside obviously pickleball? But like, what do you do for fun outside of in your time blocked off for you time? What do you do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I do love. I typically find that my hobbies are habit stacked, kind of. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, like I love hanging out with my dogs, so I'll take them for a walk. So, like, hanging out with my dogs and going for a walk is kind of a habit stack. It's spending time with my dogs, but then also getting some exercise. Same with jujitsu. It's like, so I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu as well, and so it's like community and mental game and stress game and physical game, and there's so many different pieces to that. And same with pickleball. It's it's fun, it's fast paced, it's a team sport. So, those are some of the things that I do. And also, here we go, Robin. I knew let's go.
Robin's
Quilter,
awesome.
Let's go. No groups yet. But
I'm telling you,
talk
Robin.
with quilters in shops. See, and you never know which quilter in there is actually a recruiter or who might be a team member for you if you're a business owner. So you never know whenever you start to have those conversations, what can happen. That's awesome.
Yeah. I've never heard the term habit stack. I've never heard that.
Oh,
I have to add that to my yeah.
So habits, it's a cool way to kind of do, you're kind of already doing some things. So is there another thing that you could add to it and kind of stack it?
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Mine's like my habit stacking is like a cheeseburger.
Mercy. Oh my gosh. Here we go. The only thing he does fast is go to the refrigerator, people. Here we go.
I habit stack at the refrigerator.
I have a habit of eating cheese, a burger, and a
Yeah.
bun.
I have a habit of snacking everything on my cheeseburger. Oh man. All right,
never
keep the
know.
questions coming. This has
Yeah.
been fun. Yeah.
Yes, fun.
Well, yeah, like we talked about, we do have a website, harmonygrowthlab.com. We give out free advice as well, so you can go there. Doesn't cost a dime to enter your email address in. You'll get some
Right.
quick wins from us there. So do
Yes.
that. She plays pickle. Robin plays pickleball too. So
Yes.
I'm telling you,
Here we go.
yeah. Ryan says eating is a hot. Yeah, Ryan, you're right. Eating is a
Now we're
hobby.
talking. That's right.
Yeah, Ryan's my new best friend. Absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah.
Content workshops. What are the content workshops like? Mike, do you want to give just kind of give an overview of kind of a couple that you've done, and then I can give an overview of a couple.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Jamie, I'm assuming you're talking about what's on our website, Harmony Growth Lab. But yes, so content workshops are based on a lot of different things. So one is, and I'm just going to talk about the LinkedIn platform for a second. Sorry, X and YouTube that I know we're streaming on there. But I'm going to talk about LinkedIn. LinkedIn has, it's not, you're not going to find this in a white paper, but there's 4 different frameworks of posting styles that you can do. And so it's talking about those. It's teaching you how to kind of find your voice, teaching you structures of post, teaching you what's more readable versus maybe what's not readable. What's the difference when you type an article up that's in a 5th to 8th grade level of reading versus when you type something up that's at a collegiate level of reading? Believe it or not, the 5th to 8th grade reading level is going to do better because people aren't scrolling to spend a ton of time reading. They're scrolling to get some quick wins on content. So really it's talking about how to leverage the platform to find your voice. So we talk about content strategies, but then we also, like I said, create content, but optimize for the algorithm. Yes, the algorithm is important, but it's not something that you need to think about every single day. The algorithm isn't something you need to think about until you are so good at writing content, and now you want that extra 15, 20, 35%. Then let's talk about the algorithm, But anyhow, yeah, those are kind of the content workshops, but Zach, take whatever I missed.
Yeah, so it's awesome too. Kim commented on LinkedIn here that
she's in our group.
She's a current Harmony Growth Lab member, and she mentioned that the content workshops are excellent, interactive conversations with peer reviews, collaboration. It's great, all of those things. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Kim, for sharing your experience with that. We love having you as a member. So for example, the content workshops, our goal is to give you something that you can tactically take that day and go implement. So for example, my most recent workshop was what I call the ideal week. And we went through and I showed everyone how to audit your current week. Go back and audit your last week. What did that look like? Where did your time go? Let's color code the time with specific types of activities. Or those activities, the ones that you needed to be doing, did they need to be delegated? Did they need to be deleted? And kind of walking through this flow of then crafting what your ideal week should or could look like that you want to do that would maximize your effectiveness, your energy, what you would love to do. And we spent the check-in call, since the Tuesday was kind of more content of like, hey, here's the framework, here's how it works. We spent the Friday check-in call on specific questions for community members that had questions after they had started to implement. And so we were able to give some content on Tuesday, and then on Friday, dive deeper into that kind of almost one-on-one direct access to, hey, what about this? What about this? So I hope that answers your question, Jamie. We'd love to talk more about that. If that's something you're interested in, we'd love to have you on there. So yeah,
it's really cool. It's kind of nice just having a friendly group to have conversations with as well.
Yeah. When I mentioned that ideal week template, so that's one of the first emails in the first emails that come out. If you do go to harmonygrowthlab.com, input your email, you will get kind of an immediate response there. And that ideal week template will be in that email for you to go ahead and start working on that too, if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Jamie, thank you for the question. And Kim, thank you so much for being here. It's awesome to have some members here as well. So we have a couple minutes left. Feel free to throw your questions in there. Or Zach, should we spend the last couple minutes roasting a profile?
We can roast a profile. Let's do it.
All right. If you want your profile roasted, we will roast it in a kind manner, I promise.
A nicely toasted.
Nice. Yes.
Maybe we toast the profile. Lightly toasted, but a golden brown.
If you would like that, share your link to your profile in the comments. I will, if you're okay with it, I will bring it up on the screen and we'll do that. So
lightly toasted.
Lightly, yeah, it would be a light toasting of a profile. And what we mean by that is just giving you some constructive criticism.
Yes.
Maybe people are afraid to do that. I don't know.
Well, and if you want to, you could do mine too, if you want.
Gladly, absolutely.
I'll step up to the plate, y'all. We'll see how well I'm doing. I'm gonna take
I don't know if I'm gonna have a ton to roast you because you've come
feedback
a long way.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one. Do that.
Do we have one? Okay.
You do.
All right.
Awesome.
Let me see if I can get to this link here. Hold on 1 second.
Stepping up to the plate. Getting a lightly toasted profile roast.
Let's see if it comes up. Oh, that's a nice profile. All right, here we go.
It's gonna be fun. No notes.
It's gonna be fun. All right, let me see here. Share screen.
All right.
Here we go. All right. This is actually a really nice profile. Okay, so a couple things I see right away. So I am very I'm really picky, right? So your cover photo is really good, but I can't read the whole thing because it's stuck behind your profile picture. So I might change it. I love your cover photo or love your background photo. One thing I might suggest here, this is a great picture. I might suggest doing a little bit of color matching, which you have, so typically, I guess this is more of a pointer for others. You have a black coat on, a white shirt, kind of a tan background with the buildings. So do some color matching, like a constant theme across your profile and your background. It just makes it aesthetically clean. Let's talk about this. I think you did fantastic here. You definitely use this in full. So I love when I see this. I love the double pipes. Kind of makes it stand out a little bit. I don't have anything to roast there or toast.
What about just a quick thought on the sunglasses on the profile pictures is kind of something that I felt like
that's a good point. Yeah,
connecting with the eyes, I believe is very important when I'm looking at connections and different things for profiles is
You're right.
Kind of having that some just whatever, like a.
You're exactly right. Because I talk to hundreds of recruiters every year, and I'll ask them, what attracts you to a profile, and they say being able to make that personable connection. So eye contact is a big thing. So I agree. All right, we just changed our mind. Another profile picture.
Yes, but I do love the picture in the cover photo though. So
absolutely. I love this. So I think this is great. I wouldn't change a thing here. Going on down through. This is fantastic. Here's what I would tell you. People, when they're reading on LinkedIn, they have that TikTok Reels mentality of they want to skim read and read very quickly. So here's what I would say, because you know you better than I know you. Make sure all of your very important stuff is bulleted and just stands out very easy, right? Don't make them dig to read a long time. So right here, okay, 20-year-old undergraduate student. That's awesome. Yeah, just like I said, you better than I know you. So just make sure that your most important stuff is bulleted and stands out. But this is good. This is really good. I love how you're utilizing your featured section.
Yeah.
Most people don't. Zach,
Yeah.
are you utilizing yours? I think you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh yeah, he's got a good base. He's got pretty solid 4,400 followers. Okay, so here's what I would say here. In your experience, break these down. I know that even your current position, it looks like you're not here anymore, but you were. But just break these down because you've definitely done more than what you just have typed here. So kind of tell us your story a little bit. Break down some of your accomplishments, some things you were responsible for, some things that you were proud of. Break those down. Zach, feel free if I'm missing anything here.
Yeah. No, this
is actually really filled out. He's got projects.
It's very full, which is great. Like it's or filled out. Like, because I think you've mentioned something about like percentage filled out, or like,
yes,
like if you can kind of fill with quality content, filling that, volunteering projects, skills.
Yeah,
the recommendations look good. You've received
they're new.
Some of those are great and given. Yeah.
This is sharp. So now, okay, so that is you've taken that car and you've shined it up, right? Your LinkedIn profile being that car. So now you got to sell that car, right? Because you got to use car lot, and you got the shiny Corvette, which is your LinkedIn profile. It's beautiful. So now you got to get it on the front of the lot. So now you just got to get out there and engage, right? I'm seeing your posts. You've got some engagement with your posts, which is good. I would suggest, just look at this real quick, once a day on LinkedIn. More than once a day, your post will cannibalize the last post. So I wouldn't post more than once a day. You're actually kind of defeating yourself if you do that. So other platforms you can get away with it. LinkedIn you can't, unfortunately. So, but that was a good one. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Thanks for allowing us to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was fun. I think we're coming up near the end. I believe so.
That's right.
So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Definitely check out harmonygrowthlab.com. Throw your email address in. You'll get a lot of the resources that Zach had mentioned as well, and some stuff from me. Definitely pretty cool. Zach, any final words?
No, just thankful for everybody that was a part of this today. And like we said 2 weeks ago, so we do this every 2 weeks. The other weeks we are doing this every week, but the opposite weeks that we're not out here on LinkedIn, we are inside of Harmony Growth Lab, kind of hanging out with the members there. So, every other week we'll be here. The other weeks we're going to be in there, and we would love to have you. Just so thankful for you guys and the questions. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Zach, thank you for your time. My ham is getting cold, so I'm gonna,
mercy.
I'm gonna hang up.
I should have talked more so you could take a couple bites.
Well, I couldn't eat my ham when you got a protein shake there, so
just throw in the trash, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
See ya.